When I was in kindergarten, my mother became a dialysis nurse. And a few years later, she got the opportunity to to own and run her own dialysis clinic. Now, as most of you may already know, dialysis patients are people whose kidneys have failed. So what they have to do, 3 times a week for 4 hours each treatment, they have to go in, get all of their blood removed from their body, cleaned, and then put back inside. Dialysis is a life-limiting disease, and so if they didn't go in for dialysis, people diagnosed with complete kidney failure, their life expectancy is 10 days. But with dialysis, their average life expectancy is 4 years. My mom and her staff fight a daily battle. They fight to give their patients one more day, because if they give their patients one more day, that means they give their families one more day. Ever since I was little, my mom has been telling me about her dialysis patients and telling me about how hard it is for them and having me come into her dialysis so that I can just help volunteer. And I've done small things. I would help assemble packs, or I would go put things away, or I remember once the nurses had me go around and give each patient little baby popsicles because they were trying to teach their patients about fluid control. What I did wasn't anything special, but the nurses still really appreciated having me there. A few years later, the Key Club at a local high school was learning about kidney failure. And so they called my mom and they asked her what they could do to help. And she responded. She just gave them 2 simple things that they could do. They could donate hats and they could donate gloves, because dialysis patients get very, very cold while they're on treatment. And so that's what they did. They had a huge bake sale, and they raised all of these funds, and all of the funds that they made, all the money that they made, they got it, and they went right to the dollar store to pick up all of the hats and all of the mittens that they had. But they didn't stop there. When they got all of the hats and all of the mittens that the store had, they decided 4-hour treatments are probably very long and very boring. So they decided to get crossword puzzles and Sudoku and cards and games and books and movies and headphones, all things that the patients could enjoy while they were sitting getting their treatment. And so they put them all in the big boxes and they dropped them off at my mom's dialysis. And my mom and her nurses, they put them in these big baskets and they walked around to each patient offering them these hats and mittens and various things. And the patients were really excited about it. It was like Christmas for them. And my mom, so she's walking around and she comes up to a patient, a little old 82-year-old lady named Miss Margie. And Miss Margie is very hard of hearing. She's almost deaf. So Miss Margie picks out her hat and she picks out her gloves, and Miss Margie decides to opt for the headphones because the little hospital TVs that each person had were very quiet. You couldn't really hear them, and so she picked the headphones. The way my mom tells it is she takes the headphones out of the pack and plugs them into the TV, and she puts the headphones on Miss Margie's head. And Miss Margie just gets this astonished look on her face. She looks at my mom and says, "Naomi, I can hear the TV! This is the best present I've ever had!" She was screaming because she was hard of hearing. As soon as the Key Club heard about Miss Margie and how excited she got over those $1 pair of headphones, they took the rest of the money that they fundraised. They went straight to every single dollar store in the area and bought every single pair of headphones that they had. The next day, they came in with a hefty bag full of just headphones so that every single patient could be able to hear the TV. I've noticed that when people get together in a room to discuss volunteer opportunities, the excitement, the sheer prospect of volunteering is contagious. There's this kind of synergy that develops within the group. One person will say an idea, and then 2 more people will tack on, and they just get so excited. The synergy just kind of crescendos and just gets more and bigger until something beautiful happens. And that's exactly what happened with this local Key Club. It started out with a simple phone call, but then exploded into kidney awareness days and to fundraising and bake sales, and people actually came into my mom's dialysis to help volunteer. I can't help but think, as I look out into the faces of the members of the Rotary Club here tonight, when you all were my age, were you doing the same thing that I'm doing now? Because I think that you were. Look at where you guys are now. You're mentoring the next generation. You're mentoring my generation as to what it's like, the beauty of community service and helping others who have less than you. So I just wanted to say, on behalf of all of the less fortunate that you've helped just because you wanted to, on behalf of the Stafford community members, and on behalf of my peers, I just wanted to say thank you.